How you stream that shit? Coming from the guy that lost to Sea Gouch are your Week 4 predictions. Let's get her done. First of all, we have to review what was Week 3. Pretty surprising week, pretty low scoring week. Just right off the bat, you see me as incorrectly predicted. I fall to Sea Gouch. You can attribute this to Michael Turner scoring 2 points, Steve Smith scoring 1.5 points, my kicker scoring 1, the Eagles defense scoring 2, Danny Woodhead scoring 4, and Peyton Hillis getting strep throat. I was a better team, and I should have won. But, NFL.com predicted me to have 160 points, so that's why I lost. Alright, Texas Nurse beat Metal Spine, no surprise there. Metal Spine will probably win 1 game all year. Nothing really happened, nothing really notable there. Disco Hobbits beat Clap for Bacon, as predicted. Disco Hobbits has a really strong team. If Vic gets hurt, or he is hurt, but like I predicted, but if it's severe and he stays hurt, his team's going to suffer because he has McCoy. As correctly predicted, the USC Athlete Compensation Fund came out of his slump and defeated the Cure Sucks. Luckily, he was playing the Cure Sucks, because if he was playing any other team, he would have lost. Bing Bong lost to record-breaking suck, Rampy, which, if you think about it, it's not looking good for Cameron, because he has Chris Johnson, who's going to have a bad year because he splits time now. He's already starting to score a really low amount of points, which I figured it would be at least until the bye weeks, until Cameron started to suffer and perform poorly from lack of management. But if it's already at Game 3, that division just got a whole lot easier, because No Fried Rice for You also scored 72 points and is looking really weak with the hurt Vic. So that division, as you'll soon see, might come down to Ben and Rampy. And our final game of Week 3 was my game to watch, if I recall correctly. I said that the fantasy genius, Ben, would come out of the sewer and get his first win, and he did. He did in a big way, coming over No Fried Rice for You, 124 to 72. Now we're going to launch into our Week 4 preview, now that we've done our Week 3 review. First game, it always starts with me. I don't do it for any particular reason other than the fact that when I pull up these games, it always shows me up as first. I think it's done, I don't know how it's done. I guess it just always puts me first and then does it by name or something. I have no idea, but that's irrelevant. So, right off the bat, you get your game to watch. It's me versus Spencer, and you might be thinking, why is this your game to watch? Well, I really hope that me and Spencer becomes a rivalry like Ben and Cameron have. It's really good every year, no matter what. Spencer's proven that he's a good active owner, and that he's just really watchful on the waiver wire. He doesn't overvalue his players, and even though he kind of got screwed in the draft, he's done his best to improve his team with trades and whatnot. And it's just two good owners going at it, It looks. I hope it becomes a great rivalry like Ben and Cameron have. But let's go over the players. I have Matthew Stafford doing better than Phil Rivers because Phil Rivers had a terrible game last week. I have Turner outperforming McFadden, even though McFadden's better. Turner's playing the punching bag of the NFC, the Seahawks. MJD will do better than Dirty Beanie Wells, who isn't that great. Nate Washington, you might wonder why I'm starting him. Kenny Britt tore his ACL and MCL, and Hasselbeck, I think Nate Washington will now be Hasselbeck's primary receiver, although Fitz will still outperform him. I have Vincent Jackson outperforming Santana Moss because Sexy Rexy got pretty rattled last game, and I think he's due for a bad start again. I think no matter what Spencer thinks, Lance Kendricks will not do better than Jermichael Finley. Lance Kendricks, although you have to stick with your sleepers, Lance Kendricks, I don't think he's going to work out this year. Peyton Hillis will outperform Steven Jackson. It's good for Spencer that he got Steven Jackson, but at this point he's still kind of questionable. As long as Peyton Hillis doesn't get sicky again and torpedo my fantasy team, I'll be fine. Spencer doesn't have a kicker right now. I'm assuming he'll pick one up, but Josh Brown will probably do better than a kicker he can get off the waiver wire. And the Eagles, I'm projecting, will have probably a few interceptions this week, and they will best the Lions. I'm going to have to pick me in that game just because I think I have the running back advantage. Disco Hobbits and TX Nurse. If Disco Hobbits plays anything like he was before, this is going to be a blowout. Texas Nurse has made moves to become less bad, but she's not a Tier 1 team yet. Drew Brees will do better than Schaub. Ray Rice will do better than Benson. McCoy will do better than Adai, even though he won't do that great. Hicks will outperform Meacham. Deshaun Jackson will outperform A.J. Green. Scott Chandler will outperform Kellen Winslow. Fitzpatrick has looked to the tight ends a lot this year. Julio Jones will do better than Ryan Matthew because the Falcons are playing the punching bag of the NFC, the Seahawks. Adam Vinatieri, no. Ooh. For a second, I thought the Colts were still good. John Casey will definitely outperform Vinatieri and the damned Colts, who don't even have Kerry Collins anymore. They were trying out like Brody Croyle, so I would just drop any Colt you have. And the Ravens will do better than Bart Scott's Can't Wait Rex Ryan defense. Bing Bong and Metal Spine. After coming off a really ugly loss to a team he should have beat, not should have beat, but needed to beat, Bing Bong is really lucky that he gets to play Metal Spine, the worst team in the league. I know I said Seagouch was the worst team in the league, but he's really not. He should have shopped. He was looking to get too much out of Cam Newton and looking to just deny all the trades and get exactly what he wanted. After not shopping Cam Newton, Christian is really hurting because Cam Newton didn't have a phenomenal game, as I expected him not to. So his stock has gone down, and Christian just needs to get him the hell off of his team. But Metal Spine is definitely the worst. Christian got lucky with LT, but still, I don't even think Metal Spine has gotten on. He's definitely a Sunday owner. But Cameron is looking a lot better than what he would have been had he been playing any other team but Metal Spine. Because Tony Romo will outperform Ben Roethlisberger. Forte will do better than John Vest. I've never heard of Isaac Redmond, so even though Chris Johnson splits time, he'll do better than him. Anquan Bolden will do better than Hines Ward. Mike Thomas, he'll do better, but not much, just because Antonio Brown won't do anything because he's terrible. But Mike Thomas, the Jags passing game looks non-existent. Witten will do better than Gronkowski, because I think Wes Welker's in for a big week. Darren Sproles, the little lightning bug, will do nothing, and neither will Emmanuel Sanders. Myrod Baronis will lose out to David Akers, the best kicker in the league and the only bright spot on Metal Spine's team. And the Steelers' D will do better than the Chargers' D, just because the Chargers' D isn't very good. No fried rice for you and Seagouch. Seagouch is looking good here, because no fried rice for you, even though he's starting Joe Flacco. If he has any consideration to start Michael Vick, he's going to be screwed. I would definitely start Aaron Rodgers. Maybe Christian will change that, but I think if he doesn't, Joe Flacco will outperform Newton. Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, and LaDainian Tomlinson both should be free agents. Mendenhall will outperform Pierre Thomas. Henderson will outperform Wayne. Like I said, if you're a Colts fan, I'm sorry for you. They're just not going to do anything. Mike Wallace will outperform Lance Moore. And that's one thing I really got screwed about. Lance Moore had two 2-point conversion catches. and he had 18 points. It's just like the Saints are such a crapshoot that you're gonna get lucky one week, and that happened to be the week Peyton Hillis got strep throat, Lance Moore happened to break out, and LT happened to have his lucky game. Vernon Davis will do better than Chris Cooley. Chris Cooley's not that great. Des Bryant is gonna get his touches. Jerry's definitely bugging the coach to dial up some Des Bryant plays. Stephen, I'm getting tongue-tied here. Stephen Gostkowski will outperform Janikowski, and the Green Bay Packer Clay Matthew defense will do better than the Bears. So, my last two picks have been Bing Bong, and I'm gonna pick Seagouch. I know I said he's the worst team in the league, but I don't think I think No Fried Rice is not very good at all. Ben, coming off of his rise out of the gutter, looking to show his fantasy genius status, and he's off to a good start with Ryan Fitzpatrick. He'll outperform Kevin Kolb. Fred Jackson will do better than Ben Tate, even though that was a good pickup by fantasy genius Ben. Daniel Thomas will do better than James Starks. Neither of those guys are any good. Calvin Johnson, I say this every time when I review a Clap for Bacon game, Calvin and Andre will both outperform the receivers, even though Ben has two really good receivers. And then Owen Daniels will do better than Dustin Keller. Bradshaw will do better than Bo, because I don't think the Chiefs are going to score very much. Hansen will do better than Neil Rackers, because the Lions will score a lot, and then the Cowboys' defense will do better than the Giants. I'm going to have to pick Ben. Oh, this is tough. I think Ben can win this. If his running backs do good enough, I think Ben can win this. I think after Clap for Bacon came off that tough loss, he's kind of reeling. I think if Clap for Bacon does what I do, and every time I lose, I panic and try to trade off my whole team, I think he'll be hurting. I don't think he'll do that, but, Ben's hot and he's not right now. So, the Cure sucks and Record Breaking suck. Cure sucks and Metal Spine are two worst teams in the league. Seagouch at least has good quarterbacks. Brady will outperform Freeman. Peterson will outperform Choice. Frank Gore's coming off an injury. He'll be bested by Hightower. Wes Welker will have a big week. He'll outperform Roddy White. Brandon Marshall will do better than San Antonio Holmes, just because San Antonio Holmes isn't getting that many catches. Tony Gonzalez will outperform Antonio Gates, who is projected 0 points, not 30 like he was that one week. Deion Branch will do better than Sean Green, who's terrible. And it looks like the Cure Sucks finally got rid of his kicker, but hasn't replaced him. And the Redskins defense will do better than the Niners defense. I'm going to pick Rampy there. So those are my picks for that week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you rate and comment the video. And don't hate me because I lost to Seagouch. The stars lined up and he won. Alright. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see y'all later.